You know that nagging feeling in the pit of your stomach, the little voice that whispers, "This doesn't feel right," even as your heart soars? It's one of the most painful and confusing places to be in any relationship. Almost everyone can recall a time when they ignored obvious red flags, excused them away, or hoped things would get better. We tell ourselves that love conquers all, that compromise is noble, that our intuition is overreacting. Yet the reality is that staying in a relationship that isn't aligned with who you are and what you need can quietly erode your self-worth and sense of safety. This conversation is about learning to listen to that inner voice and to the wisdom of relationship science. I'm the Intimacy Doctor, real talk, real science, real intimacy, and in this video we're going to explore 7 signs you're dating the wrong person. If you've ever wondered whether you and your partner are genuinely compatible or if you're trying to make something work that just isn't right, stay with me. We're going to unpack some subtle but powerful clues grounded in research and emotional intelligence, and by the end, you'll feel more empowered to make choices that honor your well-being and your desire for a deep, healthy bond. Let's begin with the foundation of any lasting union: values. This isn't just about liking the same music or preferring the same cuisine, it's about what drives your decisions, how you see the world, and what you aspire to. Relationship. Researchers note that misalignment of core values is one of the most common reasons couples break up. Whether it's the question of having children, religious faith, or how you handle money, mismatched values create chronic friction. For instance, when partners hold radically different attitudes about finances, perhaps one is frugal and saving for retirement while the other spends freely to enjoy life now, studies show that their risk preferences clash. In one analysis, couples who disagreed about financial matters were twice as likely to divorce. Money fights aren't really about dollars. They're about what money represents: security, freedom, independence, generosity, or status. Similarly, unexamined attitudes about parenting or family life can unravel a bond. One partner might imagine a house full of children, while the other cherishes child-free independence. As one therapist observed, even couples who initially avoid hot-button topics like parenting or religion eventually find those issues at the root of their disagreements. Values are part of our identity. They don't change because someone else wants them to. If you and your partner aren't on the same page about the things that guide your lives, you will repeatedly find yourselves negotiating away your authenticity or feeling that your partner is betraying who you are. Reflect for a moment. Have you had honest discussions about your deepest priorities? Are you making time in your week to live out your values or expecting your partner to compensate for choices you're not making? Share your thoughts below. Have mismatched values ever caused friction in your relationships? Another sign you're with the wrong person arises from your attachment dynamics. Attachment theory helps us understand how early experiences shape our comfort with closeness. People with an anxious attachment style crave closeness and fear abandonment, so they often seek constant reassurance. Those with an avoidant attachment style prioritize independence and tend to withdraw when relationships feel too intimate. Put an anxious and an avoidant person together and you have what psychologists call the anxious avoidant trap. Research shows that anxious partners push for more intimacy while avoidant partners pull away. The more one partner pursues, the more the other retreats, fueling a cycle of frustration and misunderstanding. Sometimes an avoidant person begins with intense courtship, love bombing, only to distance themselves later. Recognizing these patterns is crucial. If you find yourself repeatedly drawn to emotionally distant partners or you can't resist trying to fix someone who keeps withdrawing, it may indicate an unconscious attraction to what's familiar rather than what's healthy. It's not about blaming either person, it's about understanding how your attachment style interacts with theirs and whether that dynamic supports your emotional well-being. Imagine what it would feel like to be with someone who brings calm and stability into your life rather than anxiety and drama. Visualize the qualities that matter to you: warmth, humor, kindness, reliability. Are those present now? In the comments, share whether you've ever experienced the push-pull of the anxious avoidant dance. Noticing these patterns can be the first step in breaking the cycle. A third indicator that you may be dating the wrong person is emotional unavailability. Many of us are taught that love means being patient and supportive no matter what, but consistently investing in someone who cannot or will not meet your emotional needs erodes intimacy. Therapists describe emotionally unavailable partners as avoidant. They fear vulnerability, dismiss their own feelings, and downplay the importance of closeness. If you need lots of reassurance and quality time, this kind of partner can leave you feeling chronically anxious. In fact, relationship experts warn that the pursuer-distancer pattern, where one partner continually pursues intimacy and the other distances themselves, is dysfunctional and leaves both people unhappy. Moreover, research reveals that avoidantly attached individuals engage in less sexual activity with their partners and report lower levels of sexual and relationship satisfaction. Think about the toll that takes. You're constantly pursuing someone who isn't responsive, and over time you may internalize the belief that you're too needy or that your desires are unreasonable. Pay attention to your internal experience. Are you often wondering where you stand? Do you feel you're begging for scraps of affection? If so, it's not because you are too much, it may be that your partner is unwilling or unable to reciprocate at a level that meets your basic needs. Ask yourself whether you could live with the current level of emotional investment indefinitely. If not, it may be time to reassess whether this relationship serves you. The fourth red flag is chronic mistrust or jealousy. Trust is the glue that allows relationships to withstand stress and uncertainty. Without it, every late text or unexplained change in routine becomes a trigger for suspicion. A study on trust and attachment found that trust is essential to the development of healthy, secure, and satisfying relationships. When trust is low, particularly among people with anxious attachment styles, jealousy skyrockets and conflict becomes more likely. The researchers discovered that anxious individuals who felt distrustful of their partners were more likely to engage in cognitive and behavioral jealousy, ruminating, checking their partner's belongings or messages, and even becoming psychologically abusive. The study also noted that lower trust leads people to monitor and test their partner's support, feeding negative thoughts, suspicion, and jealousy. Constant anxiety about whether you can rely on your partner undermines both of your well-being. Healthy love includes the freedom to relax into the relationship, to take your partner at their word, and to feel confident that when challenges arise you'll tackle them as a team. If you find yourself snooping, obsessing over your partner's loyalty, or feeling like you have to prove your worth to be loved, ask yourself why. Is your partner behaving in ways that betray your trust, or do you bring unresolved wounds from past relationships? Honest reflection and perhaps professional support can help you heal, but if the mistrust stems from your partner's actions, and they refuse to rebuild trust, it's a sign the relationship may be wrong for you. Let's talk about communication, our fifth sign. Good communication doesn't mean never disagreeing, it means being able to express yourself openly and respectfully and to listen with empathy. According to mental health advocates, positive communication creates a sense of safety and happiness, while poor communication leads to disconnection and dissatisfaction. When couples stop communicating well, especially during times of change or stress, they stop relating well. Many of us assume our partner should intuit our needs, but your partner isn't a mind reader. It's healthier to express your needs directly and avoid confusion. The way you communicate goes beyond words. Nonverbal cues, eye contact, tone of voice, posture, touch, convey how you feel. When you send or receive positive cues, you both feel loved. When you stop paying attention to your own or your partner's emotional signals, the connection phrase. Active listening, where you're truly engaged and attuned to your partner's emotions, fosters deeper connection. On the flip side, if every conversation turns into criticism, contempt, defensiveness, or stonewalling, it's a sign that something is fundamentally off. Healthy couples learn to repair after conflict, to apologize, and to find common ground. If you consistently feel unheard or find yourself biting your tongue to avoid conflict, that dynamic can become emotionally exhausting. Reflect on how you and your partner communicate. Do you feel safe sharing your vulnerabilities? Does your partner respond with empathy, or do they dismiss your feelings? Share your experiences in the comments. What communication habits strengthen your bond, and which create distance? Closely related to communication is quality time and emotional connection. Relationships need nurturing. Spending time together allows you to create shared memories, attune to each other's needs, and maintain a sense of us. Researchers emphasize that couples must be intentional about making time for each other. Whether one partner prefers lively nights out while the other enjoys quiet evenings at home, aligning expectations around time is vital. Without clear agreements, one person may feel neglected while the other feels smothered. Investing in shared activities and carving out moments for connection strengthens intimacy and reinforces that you're a priority to one another. If your schedules never overlap, or if one of you always feels like an afterthought, it may signal deeper incompatibility. Ask yourself, when was the last time you genuinely enjoyed being together without distractions? How do you handle conflicting ideas about how to spend your time? Let us know in the comments. Your reflections can inspire others facing similar challenges. Sixth, consider sexual and physical intimacy. While every couple's needs differ, a complete mismatch in desires, frequency, or boundaries can create resentment. As mentioned earlier, research shows that avoidantly attached partners tend to have less sex and experience lower sexual satisfaction. If sex is important to you but your partner chronically rejects intimacy or uses affection as a bargaining chip, that disparity can erode self-esteem and closeness. Conversely, if you feel pressured into sexual experiences that cross your boundaries, the relationship becomes unsafe. Intimacy should be mutually enjoyable and negotiated with care. A loving partner respects your needs, communicates their own, and works with you to find common ground. If your sexual connection feels one-sided or coercive, take it seriously. True intimacy involves trust, consent, and a willingness to learn and adapt together. Finally, personal growth and mutual support round out our seventh sign. Healthy relationships encourage both partners to pursue their goals and evolve. When partners coordinate and support each other's goals, research suggests they're more likely to flourish together and experience greater life satisfaction. Conversely, if your partner belittles your ambitions, sabotages your efforts, or refuses to celebrate your successes, you may feel trapped or diminished. Likewise, if you feel you must suppress your growth to preserve the relationship, whether that means not taking a job offer, going back to school, or exploring a hobby, resentment and regret can build. A compatible partner not only loves who you are today but also supports who you're becoming. Ask yourself whether your relationship inspires you to grow or keeps you small. If you constantly feel like you're walking on eggshells, hiding your achievements, or downplaying your dreams to preserve harmony, that's a red flag. As you reflect on these 7 signs: misaligned values, unhealthy attachment dynamics, emotional unavailability, chronic mistrust, poor communication, mismatched intimacy, and stunted growth, remember that no relationship is perfect. Every couple faces challenges, and often it's possible to work through issues with honesty, empathy, and professional support. What matters is whether both partners are willing to do that work. If your needs are consistently dismissed, if your core values are at odds, or if patterns of distress outweigh moments of joy, it may be time to choose yourself. That choice can be heartbreaking, but staying in an unhealthy dynamic can be even more damaging in the long run. I want to leave you with some empowering questions. What do you truly need to feel loved and secure? What values are non-negotiable for you? How does your partner respond when you express vulnerability? Have you lost pieces of yourself to make the relationship work? Journaling about these questions or discussing them with a trusted friend or therapist can bring clarity. And please, share your reflections in the comments. Hearing your stories helps others feel less alone and opens up a community of support. If this conversation resonated with you, hit that like button so more people can find it. Share it with someone who might be struggling with similar questions. And of course, subscribe to The Intimacy Doctor for more videos on intimacy, relationships, and emotional health. Turn on notifications so you don't miss future discussions. In our next video, we'll explore how to heal after ending a relationship that wasn't right for you and how to cultivate a secure attachment style. Until then, remember, you deserve a relationship that honors your worth, aligns with your values, and fosters real intimacy.